I basically rebuilt this room. Today is like, this is like a rebirth to me. I've never been here since I've been back home. So I'm seeing this stuff for the first time. I'm realizing I built that, I framed that. I framed the windows. I did the screen on the windowsill, on the skylight. So it's like all these memories are coming back to me.
Now I finally got the bride and groom together. What? I know, it's real good.
Cell phone out of my pocket. And I looked at the screen and it said, +39, which is the area code for Italy. And I sort of knew that something had gone wrong. And I picked it up and my mom sounded somewhere between control and complete chaos. And she told me that Dad was in a really bad car accident and that he looked pretty bad.
Because Joe did not know the day of the week. Today, do you know the day?
I have to look at the calendar to tell the truth.
I know, honey. Yep.
Oh, it's Paul's birthday, it's the 25th.
Yeah, you should know that.
I should know that.
Too funny.
It's April 25th.
You've come a long way, Joe Damon.
2007.
Eliminare I posti dove I pezzi stanno inutilmente.
And he called me right before he left the plant, the factory. And he was going to pick up bread and cheese for dinner.
And I stopped to buy mozzarella at a store and bread also. And those two ingredients were in the back seat of my car when I got hit by a truck and I got badly injured. At any rate, I was lucky to survive the accident. And I believe I was in a coma for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, Paul? Yeah. 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Being alive, but not having consciousness, it's unbelievable.
February 23rd. You've come a long way. Last night you were very active. Your eyes were wide open and alert. I went to kiss your cheek and whisper in your ear, and I felt you turn your head towards me. So I went for your lips, and you kissed me. I felt like it was our first kiss. I couldn't stop smiling. It felt so good. I miss you so much. Now I want to hear your voice. We haven't talked for over 3 weeks. I ache for the sound of your voice. I guess I'm getting greedy. I want it all. When you give me a little, I want more.
So this was given to me 1 year ago, and he wrote, "Happy birthday to Polly. Love, Dad," and he drew a heart. "You are the best son." And that was wild receiving this. Brain injury is hard. It's painful. And there's a lot of loss involved. And it's okay to cry. Sometimes you feel good, and other times you're sad. You really can't help it.
I remember coming up here when I was in college. Like I'd have some friends, they'd come home for the weekend with me, and then bring them up here and we'd party up here a bit.
Crack a few beers.
Yeah. More we do doobies.
The truth comes out.
Yes, it does.
What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, didn't really know about that, but suspected it.
It's been a roller coaster ride from, the moment we got back from Italy a year ago. And last summer was a nightmare, living through the phases that Joe was going through, which is very common in the recovery from a traumatic brain injury, from the outbursts in emotion, frustration, depression. It's just so sad to witness it, knowing that's not the Joe that I knew.
I had never dealt with anyone with a brain injury, so I was expecting the interaction to be the same as it was before. So it was really hard for me the first couple weeks, getting used to him as a new person.
When somebody asks me about my past, I become emotional because I think of the struggles that my family went through. I didn't ask them to go through these struggles. They did it for me. And I owe them a great indebtedness for that. That was an exhausting walk. But in my past life, that would have been nothing.
Boston Marathon.
Oh, yeah.
And I was tying your shoes because you couldn't tie your shoes
Yeah.
after the race.
Are you so tired?
Yeah.
No, I cramped up.
Cramped up.
As a friend, he inspired me to get into running, and I've done some running, and he started doing triathlons, and one day he called me and said, "Hey, Al, you ought to try the Madison Triathlon. It's right in your backyard." And he duped me into to doing that, and I've done it every year since.
She would tell me she would ride up hills, and she's like, I just wanted to quit, and he would just put his hand behind my bike and push me up the hill. Yeah, he's always had a lot of drive.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing in our face. We're on the straightaway, and we basically had a full lap to go. And I suggested that we just go back to the car, which was a half lap, rather than going a full lap. And he didn't want to do that at all. And that's continuity with the old Joe for sure.
That was a nice shot. He went back and flipped it up. If you're playing against me, you're being quite a fool if you put it on my forehand side. Good night.
Down, hold up. Good. Take a break. Nice. We did a lot of training together. Running, biking, swimming.
Before the accident.
Right. Eating, drinking wine.
Yep.
But a lot of training together. So now it's my duty to torture him to beyond means. Here, I'll take a sip of that.
How do you like Metallica, Joe?
Dad's developed more of a sweet tooth than he ever had before since his accident.
There's nothing like a brownie with milk. Unfortunately, we don't have any milk. My psychiatrist, she terms this, consider the Joe that you're on a sabbatical.
I like that word.
You're not retired, you're just on a sabbatical.
Well, what did she say first last year? She said, Joe, how do you feel about retiring?
Yeah.
And that was kind of, bummed you out.
It really brings it down, like, I'm retired. It's like, it's not what you picture at age 49.
Yeah.
So she said, all right, let me rephrase that. We'll call it a sabbatical. I said, okay, that's it, works for me.
So anyways, these girls, I think their grandfather was in the hospital in the room next to Dad for his latter part of this day at the second hospital we were at in Italy. And one of them definitely had a crush on me. Oh! And here she is. Oh! Hello. Adesso come stai tuo nonno?
Correcting his Italian.
Yes.
How it used to be. Does she still remember times like these?
And how many people would have said, well, I don't feel like going swimming tonight. I'm not really in the mood. It's fun to watch, and that's all part of what he's always done. No, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to get out and I'm going to do it.
That's one of Paul Oppier's terms, the guns. We do curls for the girls. Curls for the girls.
Yeah. What girls?
You, of course.
You're no dummy, Joe. You know how to sweet talk me, huh?
I've learned after many, many years.
That's right. Being together, huh?
Yeah.
I go through periods where I cry for the old Joe. I cry for our past life. We've all changed. We had an incredibly intimate relationship before the accident, and we need to focus on trying to gain that back in our relationship.
I appreciate my son Paul, my daughter Kate. My wife LYNN is just amazing. I mean, basically, I had one foot in the grave, which is really sad to say. And here I am today, able to enjoy the sunshine and the beautiful outdoors. This is God's blessing right here. I appreciate your professionalism too.
You do?
Yeah.
Alright. I get the Joe stamp of approval?
Yes, you do.